Boss segment tonight, the truth about how much you will pay once Obamacare kicks in on January 1st. Today, the president said he will never back away from that law.
The House Republicans are so concerned with appeasing the Tea Party that they've threatened a government shutdown or worse unless I gut or repeal the Affordable Care Act. I said this yesterday, let me repeat it. That's not going to happen. More than 100 million Americans currently already have new benefits and protections under the law.
Here now is the truth teller, Fox Business anchor Lou Dobbs. Is that true? 100 million Americans have new benefits under the law?
Well, they do have 100 million. 100 million people do have benefits of some sort if it's ever enacted. Write down these 100 million folks, as the president styles it. We have 30 million people who don't have coverage, let alone benefits.
But they will have after January 1st, right? If they sign up.
I have to qualify that. Most projections say they will not have. In fact, this began as a debate about how we would spend about $900 billion. It turns out to be $1.8 trillion.
But correct me if I'm wrong. If they sign up to the exchange, then they'll have it. So it's getting them out of the house or the crack house or wherever they are to get it to sign up. But if they sign up, they have it.
They would have it, and the price is going to. I mean, we're talking about real sticker shock here for a lot of people, because the president keeps talking about trillions of dollars that'll be flowing their way. Trillions of taxpayer dollars will be spent over the decades. But this money is going to, for most people, except for the very poor and older Americans, is going to cost a fortune.
All right, so guys like you and me,
we're on the hook.
We're going to pay more. According to Forbes magazine, younger men 27 and down, okay, their health insurance premiums are going to rise about 100% on Obamacare. Is that correct?
Doubling.
Okay.
For young people.
All right. So what they do now, if you're a younger person, you're going to pay more. Women as well, age 27 and down, they go up 50%.
Right.
Okay.
And in some states, we're going to see obviously some differences, but these are numbers that rise astronomically for some, particularly men who've actually had a very good deal in terms of premiums over the years. They're going to get hit very hard. Okay.
And then 40-year-olds are going to face a 100% increase in some states. And in North Carolina, 300% increase. Why so much different in North Carolina?
Because various states have different regulations for the insurance industry, and they have reasonable plans with high deductibles that people have lived with for years. The marketplace works in many of these states, despite immense regulation.
So now, if you don't sign up, you just pay a small fine, so it's worth it for a lot of these younger people not to sign up for the exchange, right?
It's worth it to them, but it is immensely profitable to many of their employers to say, get to those private exchanges. We're ending all of this employer-sponsored health care.
Yeah, they're just not going to do it. And you saw in the talking points where I listed all the companies that are just saying we're not going to have full-time workers. So right now, and I'm not an expert on this, and by the way, to be fair, if you're an older person, 64 and up, and you don't make a certain amount of money, then you're going to be doing well under Obamacare. You're going to get the subsidies, and if you're poor, you'll get subsidies as well.
The number we've used is run up to 64, 65. Medicare kicks in, and that is going to be a real contest going forward.
Okay.
The money that might be taken from Medicare and put into Obamacare.
So it looks to me like 50% of Americans will pay more and 50% will not. That's what this looks like here. Roughly. All right. Now, so then people have to make a decision. But this thing is so chaotic. It's such a mess. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's in it. They don't know what doctors are going to be able to see. They don't know how far they're going to have to travel for their medical appointments. They don't know any of that.
We know this. About $1.8 trillion is the latest estimate from the Congressional Budget Office. That's more than double what we had been led to believe.
That's what the government's going to spend on this.
Correct.
But they'll get some money back on that, right? I mean, because we're going to be paying more.
That's why we're paying all of these new taxes this year.
So it's just not. It's not a debt of 1.8.
It's a burden shift.
Okay. So they have to raise the money to pay it.
And this president also promised we would see the cost, as you were talking about it, decline. We're seeing the cost of health care in this country rise.
For some, but it declines for others.
For the country.
Just in general.
18.5% of our GDP now is going to health care. The nearest country is the Netherlands with 14%.
Now, you saw me in the segment before you solve this whole problem.
I did. You were so close.
Would you buy into that? Give a year waiver on the individual mandate until we see how it all shakes down, and then people are going to vote in 2014. They could vote the Democrats out. So that seems to me to be at least a temporary solution.
Ultimately, the solution is at the ballot box. The reality, we heard Nancy Pelosi say initially that if you want to know what's in this bill, you have to pass it. Now we heard Senator Mark Warner say, if you want to know what's in this law, you have to implement it and enforce it. It's time to stop it and do what we can to repair the damage.
Would you vote for that compromise that I put out there, that Manchin? Would you vote for that?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so even you, Ted Cruz's younger brother.
Proud to be.
All right. Even you would go for that, just to let us breathe for a little while and see how it shakes.
It's time for reason to prevail.
Now that Congress knows that even Dobbs would go for it, I think they'll do it. All right, Lou, always a pleasure.